preparing one or two more things, starting our recording here so I can send it out afterwards, and also prepping real quick to stream to Facebook Live, just so that way our followers there can join along. So we'll get started in just 1 minute. All right, there we go. We should be set. Okay, everyone. So yeah, like I said, thank you so much for joining. Really appreciate you all stopping in. If you're watching from Facebook Live, appreciate you tuning in. We're doing a sneak peek on our new upcoming IP phone series, the GRP2600 series. Really excited about this. A few things just real quick before we get started. First off, my name is Brian Vanmeter. I am one of the marketing managers here at Grandstream Networks. Really excited to be here and have all of you joining. If you have any questions during the meeting, please go ahead and use the Q&A feature for me if you're in the IP video talk room with us. If you're joining via Facebook Live, go ahead and use the comment section to go ahead and ask any questions, and I'll get back to you there. You know, for those using the IP video talk, join us there. Please, please, please use the Q&A feature. Usually I have Phil, one of my colleagues, to help with any questions that come in through the chat, but unfortunately he couldn't join us today. So I'm really kind of relying on you guys to self-police there. But otherwise, feel free to go ahead and use that chat feature just to talk about the products, bounce ideas off each other, deployment scenarios, and etc. And I think that is pretty much my whole spiel before we get going here. So basically what I have today, guys, is we're going to be taking a sneak peek into the GRP series. I have a brief presentation that we'll go over just to give you guys an overview. We'll take a dive into some of the technical specs as well, into the device, into the upcoming series. We'll touch on each model that's coming out. I also have a nice little sneak peek at a different, really cool kind of management service, we'll call it, that we have as well coming out that we've seen a lot of requests for. That's towards the end though, so be sure that you watch to the end to get that little sneak peek on this. Definitely a little kind of extra thing I wanted to include there for you guys. But anyway, with no further ado, let's just go ahead and get started. Let me go ahead and share the presentation. All right. Okay, cool. All right, so hopefully everyone can see my screen right now. We'll jump right into it. Like I was saying, this is a sneak peek into the GRP2600 series. For those who are just tuning in recently, maybe are a little bit newer to Grandstream, we were founded in 2002. We currently have over 600 employees and have a wide product portfolio containing over 40 products from our business conferencing devices all the way down to our award-winning IPBBXs, of course. We primarily serve these small to medium-sized businesses in consumer markets, and we are a global company, as many of you know, with offices all the way from the U.S. to Malaysia, as you can see there. We always have that award-winning history. It's something we always like to brag a little bit about. Time and again, our devices keep getting nominated and winning, all the way from the ITSPA Awards in 2018 to TMC Communication Solutions and Lab Innovation Awards. Always something we're proud about and like to highlight in these presentations. So when it comes to Grandstream, guys, it's really the total Grandstream solution. So what we kind of focus on helping you all with is sort of being a one-stop shop for your deployment needs. Everything from IP telephony, which is what this presentation will cover a little bit more, to conferencing. Our networking products also are there, as well as our security products. So really, whatever your solution requires, we really aim to provide you with everything that you require for it. But like I said, today we're going a little bit more into our IP telephony solutions. We have a wide portfolio here for those who are a little bit newer to it. Everything from our recently released Wi-Fi handsets, our really new DECT IP phones in the new generation that we just released there, to our to our IP video phones, our high-end IP phones, all the way down to our basic IP phones. But with no further ado, what we're talking about today within this sort of IP telephony solution is our new carrier-grade IP phones, the GRP2600 series. Really focusing on advanced user efficiency, powerful telephony features, a single firmware version, which is a frequent request that we see from these devices. So we call it our carrier grade line, but keep in mind this is going to be available for resellers, installers, etc. We just made this line with our carriers in mind, our ITSPs and our SP mass deployments. We really wanted to be able to deliver a device that's a lot easier for everyone to deploy, configure, provision, and manage afterwards. So all these devices, it's a very wide line, come with advanced call support, 2 to 16 SIP accounts depending on the model. Wi-Fi support is available on select models. PoE support and a PoE option for all models across the board here. Market-leading security and encryption. We really serve up in some of our standards as well on this side. Unified firmware is definitely a huge thing that people will not have to deal with different firmware versions by model anymore. It's one version for the entire series, as well as Opus support. These are some of the key differentiators that we wanted to point out here with this exciting new series. So let's just kind of break it down real quick by model. So I just want to take a quick jump first into the basic end of the models here, the GRP2600. This is aiming for a release in about mid-Q2 right now. So, of course, this is all pending a little bit to change. Beta Club for this series is coming up soon. But anyway, for the GRP2600, what we're looking for this device is the 2.4-inch color LCD. 2+2 line keys. Is initially coming out with 2 SIP accounts, but I've been told that when our firmware gets upgraded with our next general release with the products, next general release with the firmware, the SIP accounts will actually also be increasing on this. 100 megabit network port, digital BLF, and speed dial keys. As you can see, the 4 programmable soft keys on the bottom. The device also supports up to 16 VPKs on 4 pages. So as you can see on the LCD screen there on the image, you actually are able to flip through those VPKs with up to 4 pages of them. Support for up to 500 contacts in the phone book. And of course, PoE support on the GRP2600P. That's one model with this. And Wi-Fi support on the GRP2600W. The base model, which is the GRP2600, does not support PoE, is powered through PSU. This device also supports Opus, just like the entire line here. So when it comes to this device, I'll take a little bit more of a dive into the deployment scenarios, what you should look at for good potential use cases. This is really the cost-effective option of this series that we're aiming. It's a streamlined design, and it really enables easy use for the occasional user. So the individual that may not be constantly managing incoming calls, needing access to advanced telephony features, it enables them to clearly and crisply pick up the phone, make calls, access incoming calls, transfer them with just really easy intuitiveness. Of course, it's also highly customizable for your deployments with both having the PoE and the Wi-Fi options available for you. This is really perfect for our low to medium call volume seats within any of your deployments. Industries that you may want to look for on this are those that need access to more essential telephony support, maybe not the super high-end client-focusing industries, so perhaps more so on the more educational side, small to medium businesses that aren't super client-focused. Those are all great options for this one. All right, next one in the series to point out is the GRP2613. This as well should have a release date around mid-Q2. This one has a slightly bigger color LCD screen, 3+3 line keys with 3 SIP accounts, and once again, after the second firmware upgrade, the SIP accounts should be increasing on this. This one, however, does come with that gigabit network ports, and of course the PoE network port support. It has digital BLF and speed dial keys, as well as having the 4 programmable soft keys, and it actually supports up to 24 VPKs on this, up to 4 pages, same as the previous. You can simply switch between each page, each VPK, depending on the page, with the soft key on the LCD, as you can see. Supports up to 500 contacts for the phone book, as well as having Opus support, just like the entire series. So for this is a little bit more focusing towards your mid-tier deployments. So the ones that sort of require a little bit more of that moderate call volume. Main things that we kind of want to point out is the additional gigabit speeds that are supported via the gigabit ports, the additional VPKs, and the extra line / SIP accounts really enable a little bit more on this device. It has more of a client-focused build about it, so this is great for client-focused industries. So the ones that require a little bit more frequent telephony access to trade ideas, field incoming calls easily, transfer them out. It's really a great device for that. All right. Next is the GRP2600. As you can see here, the first thing that probably stands out to you is the dual color LCDs on the device. This is also aiming for a mid-Q2 release, as well as being the device that we're going to feature for the upcoming beta club on this. Be sure to keep an eye out for that. We're going to be releasing it somewhat soon. So the first color LCD is a 2.5-inch color. It's on the main display, as you can see at the top, which then a 2.4-inch color LCD for the BLF and speed dial display that you can see at the bottom. This device supports both Wi-Fi and Bluetooth 5 with 4 line keys, 4 SIP accounts, and up to 2,000 contacts on the phone book. Of course, we have the gigabit network port as well as PoE support on this device as well. So for this deployment scenario, with the Wi-Fi and Bluetooth support, the 4 SIP accounts, up to 2,000 contacts. This is great for the industries that require more of an advanced telephony solution. So really need access to advanced features that are required in order for seats to stay productive. So high volume seats is a big focus here. The additional BLF and speed dial screen really makes fielding incoming and outgoing calls efficient, easy. That way, that way people can basically field and manage those incoming calls while still staying productive at their workstation. All right. The last one I kind of want to point out here, I'm not going to go into so much detail just because this has about a late Q3 release. This is the GRP2600. As you can see with this one, the biggest difference is the line and SIP account support, as well as having that awesome little extension board that's going to become available for it. So this has a 4.3-inch color LCD screen and a 4.3-inch color LCD extension module. That's what you can see on the right there in the lower picture. This has up to 10 line keys and 16 SIP accounts, 10 line keys on its own, gigabit network port, and of course the PoE support. Also has Wi-Fi and Bluetooth 5 built into the device just to make those deployments all the more flexible. The optional expansion module really helps for those high volume calls, for those large organizational enterprises that have that many seats that need to be constantly managed, as well as having, of course, Opus support, just like the entire line. All right, so that goes into kind of an overview of each of the upcoming devices within the new series. I just kind of wanted to point out some of the other series advantages here, and we'll go into more detail on them. First one I kind of just wanted to say is the replaceable LCD cover. This is ideal and great for our ITSP and SP market that may require that replaceable screen to put their own branding within it. Of course, we also have the UI, which is redesigned for maximum user efficiency. I'll jump into this in a little bit later. As well as we're creating a tool that can convert other brands' config files to the GRP series, just for that easy transition to make it as painless as possible. United firmware and configuration templates with the devices, a dual image firmware to avoid the case of any brick devices that can easily be backed up in the case of a failed firmware update. Of course, we have the Opus codec support, definitely a big thing that we want to point out here as well. This has been a huge thing that's been asked for, which I'll go into a little bit more detail, but the alias name-based config XML, this is a huge thing for those who have always been coming up to me in our trade shows complaining about our p-value system. We're finally going to start doing away with it. Sigh of relief there, I can almost hear it. And of course, this is the thing, that little Easter egg I want to go into, is the Grandstream device management system. Little something that I'm going to give you guys a sneak peek here into. Just to give you guys just a quick idea, just see it, replaceable LCD panel, very easy to pop this in and out, put on the new and customized LCD panel onto it. Just to go into the new user interface, we really streamlined the design on this and really listened to a lot of feedback. We really sort of upped the colors to make it a little bit more vibrant for easy reading. And vital call information is presented a lot more predominantly. As you can see on the bottom there, with our call, the name is presented right there. Extension is available for you. Your keys are presented, your soft key options are presented a lot more vibrantly. It's much easier to just take a quick glance at this device as you're operating it and get all the information you really need for it. Of course, this also comes with the easily customized soft key options as well. This is a huge step up within our UI. And don't worry, our previous devices, we are working on unifying all of our series devices to having the same type of user interface. It's in the works. So definitely something I want to point out as well. Here's the unified firmware across the GRP series. So basically, it is not model to model as was with some of our previous devices. One firmware updates all of the devices here, so you really don't have to take all the extra time pairing and matching firmwares. It is one size fits all. All right, so I'm going to take a moment just to kind of take a quick drink of my coffee. All right, so the alias config XML is something we want to go into. I definitely recall, I'm sure plenty of you who are watching right now have sent us an email, have filed a ticket, have talked to someone at a trade show at some point about our existing p-value number-based scheme. It is and was very difficult to understand. As you can see on the left, that's our old p-value system. We're adopting a new and widely used alias-based configuration within the XML. You can see that on the right. It makes a lot more sense, which instead of having these random p-values that are different for each model, it's a more unified system across the entire series. You can see part name equal username. Everything is available there. It's a lot more intuitive to use. You will not have to have a massive Excel doc with p-values, and it's way more easier to memorize for those of you who are very frequently messing with the config and XMLs and working with the devices on this side. This will, like I said, be consistent across all models. And once again, much like the UI, don't worry. We are also working on integrating this config setup for our previous series, so the 1600, 2100 series, etc. So you got that to look forward to. All right. Okay, guys, so this is something else I just kind of want to give you guys a little bit of a sneak peek into. We're actually going to be releasing this from beta pretty soon, so be sure to keep an eye out for that. But this is our Grandstream device management system, the GDMS. So essentially, this is a cloud-based device provisioning service that's available to you, much like if you have used it, our GWN Cloud. So basically, this allows you to manage all of the Grandstream products in any of your deployments for your clients before, during, and after the deployments. We're rolling this out with the GRP2600 series, and we're slowly going to start integrating all of our products into this to make configuring and setting up these devices and provisioning them, managing them, and supporting them way easier for you guys. So this is basically, you can manage the deployments from the MAC and serial number binding of the devices. It actually supports template configuration groups by device model or by specific features, so you can actually design your entire configurations prior to deploying everything, put it up by device model, and push certain features to all models in all series. You can also set up configuration groups, like I said, so essentially you can set up groups for example, sales, accounting, and marketing, and configure them exactly how your clients want it, and then push it out. It supports offline device preset configuration, like I said, so you can actually just set up all the MAC and SN bindings on this, and then set up all your configurations, make your deployment, and it will automatically push that as soon as those devices are coming online. Just really streamlining the deployment, provisioning, and config process for you resellers and installers out there. All right. This also enables basically cloud-based device management, so how you can constantly continue managing the actual deployment. So this will provide device model and firmware version statistics as well. You can see up and down times, SIP account status, call status, and D&D statuses as well, all provided within the statistics so that you can monitor those deployments. Call quality reports will also be available, MOS, package loss, jitter, all at your fingertips. Statistics for phone call time, average talking duration, call in and out times, all in the works for this device, for the GDMS. And it really has everything you need to actively manage and optimize the deployment that you've made. All right. So for the system as well, it allows for really intuitive support. So there's an intuitive debug feature. It automatically collects the device's logs, capture, traceroute, etc. That way there is no peskiness when you have to go from device to device. Everything is available to you through the GDMS. You can schedule automated support tasks for the GDMS to execute. So we're talking firmware updates can be automated, device configuration, device restart, factory reset. All of this can be supported through the cloud. Any troubleshooting that you have, you can manage from your device. No more need to go on site. It is all managed through the GDMS. All right. You can also set up automated alert management. So for those of you who have many devices deployed, you can set device offline, registrant failures, task failures, unauthorized device modification alerts, all getting sent out to you as well. All right, everyone. All right, so I appreciate it, guys. That was our quick sneak peek into the GRP2600 series, as well as that surprise little sneak peek into the GDMS. Hope you guys are a little bit more excited about these upcoming devices. Be sure to keep your eye out. We're going to be releasing more and more information as time goes on here. I am going to bring myself back in here. All right. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and answer any questions that we currently have going on right now. I'll peer through the chat really quick. There's some questions I may not be able to answer just because the series is still in production. Beta is pretty soon going to be released here. But if you don't have any questions, you can feel free to just head out, not a problem. If you do have questions, like I said, please use that Q&A feature. It'll help me keep things organized a little bit more. Okay. So yeah, Benjamin asked, does the GRP2612W have PoE as well? It does. Yes, I should have mentioned that. So the GRP2612, the Wi-Fi version of that device, it does have PoE with it. And the GRP2612 does come without the PSU. Yes, so the GRP2612 will come without the PSU with it. Excuse me, GRP2612P. That's the one that supports BOE. David asks, can all phones be able to have the expansion module? It is unfortunately only to the 2615 on that. This is something I'm pretty sure it's unfortunately only going to stick to that. The expansion module is also going to be supported with some of our new devices that are coming out. Can't really mention what those are. We'll have a few more webinars on that in the future, a little bit more sneak peek looks. So Frederick asks, is the GDMS going to replace GAP services? Good question. Yes, Frederick, it is. That is very down the line, though. We're planning on the GDMS. It's going to just take some time for us to get all of the devices put onto it and make it so that everything is streamlined. We really want to optimize this for everyone, ITSPs, distributors, of course, installers, resellers. We really want to make this the perfect service for everyone. So GAPS is going to stick around for a little bit until we sort of have all the feedback we need, all of our devices are up there, and it's ready to go. All right. David asks, is the GDMS only for authorized resellers or for anyone? I'm honestly not too, I think it's pretty much going to be for anyone. I'm pretty confident. I would need to check with manager on that, but for now it is for anyone. We're going to have an open beta with it releasing pretty soon, so just be sure to keep an eye out on that. It'll be in our newsletters, it'll be over social media. So just when you guys kind of want to give it a try, it should be coming out, I believe, next month, pretty sure. So just keep an eye out for our newsletters and information on that. Will they be certified for 3CX when they're available? I believe we are working on 3CX certification with the devices. We always announce once, when they're released. If it's certified afterwards, when it's coming out, I'll definitely pass on the word that you're interested in that. I know it is currently in the works, so we'll be sure to push that for you for the 3CX certification. How many VPKs on the GRP2615? Dave asked. Fortunately, I'm not too sure about that one yet. I think that's still in the works. That device is currently a little bit more behind the rest. So, this is the first 3 coming out. Then the GRP2615 comes out late Q3. That device is still a little bit more software still being worked on there, hardware just a little bit. So when it comes to the VPKs, not too sure yet, but we'll definitely include that the next time we talk about the device, once we have a better idea. All right. Okay, so I think that's pretty much all the Q&As that I can jump into there. I'm just going to jump through the chat real quick. Nicola asks, will there be a test program for this model? There will be, like I said, for this series. We're just doing one model, the GRP2614. That's the one with the dual LCD displays, one that has the BLS. Be sure to keep an eye out for that. Should be releasing about mid-next month, roughly. Like I said, with everything here, guys, definitely keep an eye on social media. Keep an eye out for our newsletters as well. We'll always announce those things in full force there. Finally, a replaceable LCD cover. I'm glad you're excited about that. All right. New config. I'm glad we're seeing a few comments. There are a lot of excitement about that one. Tim asked, when do you expect these phones will be available for purchase? So like I said, this is expectations. We're still kind of pre-beta in this, so take this with a grain of salt here, guys. So the GRP series, the 2612, 13, and 14, those first 3 that I showed you, those should be kind of mid-Q2. The 2615, which I said is kind of still in the works, should be around Q3. We're pretty confident about those ones. We're getting pretty near the beta and sampling with it, so we should be good there. Where can we subscribe to the newsletter? Feel free to just pop along to the to our website. You can go ahead and do it there if you just scroll to the bottom. I'll also just include a CTA for you guys to click in the follow-up email. I'll send a little bit later today. That'll have this presentation and the recording as well available to you. Okay. So that's a good question about pricing. I can't get into super big details on this one, obviously. I do want to mention, though, we did keep in mind we are keeping the GXP1600 series and the 2100 series. It's coexisting, and the 1700. It's coexisting with this line because of the extra features, design, a bigger LCD display with it, intuitively sort of built-in Wi-Fi and Bluetooth on some of the models. They are going to be priced slightly above, I believe around like 10 to 12% above wherever the coexisting model would be. The GRP2600 is somewhat like, I think, the 1628, so it is priced a little bit above that. So we do kind of want to make sure we're not going to be cannibalizing all the other models with this new series. They do coexist. Like I said, too, this is definitely a great option, too, for mass deployments as well. Big carrier, great focus on this new series. Okay, yeah, I think, so that's pretty much all the ones I can really jump into. We're going to call it there. If you have a question that you guys just really wanted to ask, actually, there's a few people are pointing this. Oh, okay, yeah, so Gary asked, I might as well address this a little bit. Any plans to limit sale of GS products to authorized distributors and resellers? Kind of the issue with online retailers sort of cannibalizing some of the sales here. This is definitely a big thing and something that we are constantly working on our side. We do have some plans in the works to really help sort of really punish map violators. Big thing too as well with the new GRP series, we may or may not really kind of limit it only to the channel actually. Like I said, don't take out with a grain of salt. These are still things that are kind of still in the works. But definitely just wanted to let you guys know, we definitely have a lot of plans coming through that we're currently management and sales is working on just to keep everything map compliant. Just to make sure that people aren't ridiculously undercutting in some e-tailing markets. All right. Cool. So I think that's pretty much it for the LCD. Oh, the LCD cover question. That's a good question. I think we may have a way to be printing those in mass batch. We're still kind of figuring out how we want to handle it. But by release, we'll definitely have more information on how to get more customized LCD covers on that. That's sort of something that's still in the work. Unfortunately, I don't really have an answer for you currently. Sorry about that. Okay, cool. Well, I'm going to just kind of call it there, guys. So if you have more questions, feel free to ask it either on our Grandstream Facebook. Like I said, I'm also going to be shooting out an email to all of you. It's coming from my own personal email for everyone who attended VIP Video Talk. If you have more questions, or if I maybe didn't answer one the way you would like to, go ahead and send it to me, respond to the email. Even if it's more technical, I can always talk to our, talk to our engineers a little bit more and see what I can figure out for you. But anyway, thank you all so much for attending. Really appreciate it. Hope you're all excited about this upcoming series as well as with the GDMS. Appreciate it and have a great rest of your week. Take care. Thank you.